Hello guys, welcome back to video number 4 in our series on introduction to LangChain. So in this course, in this video, we're actually going to be looking at chains. Okay, so what are chains and why is it called LangChain? So chains are very important parts of LangChain. So like the idea of chain is a combination of multiple things, right? You chain a lot of things together, and it's the same concept in LangChain. So we can have an LLM that we looked at how to create an LLM. We also talk about prompts and prompt templates, right? So we can combine all of those. We can link an LLM to a given prompt, like forming like a chain, right? So that's why it's called a chain. And we see how we're going to be how we can work with LangChain chains in LangChain. So I'm just going to move into my Jupyter notebook right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and load up my environment variables. Let me talk about all this at the beginning of the video. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my imports, and these are all the code I'm running right here, are all the stuff that we covered in the last video, right? So create the LLM, and once you have the LLM created, you're going to go ahead and create a simple prompt template, and then run the prompt template. And then finally, we covered all this in the last video, so I assume that you guys are already aware of this. So our question is basically, what is the largest city in country? And country, of specified country as Russia. So what's the largest city in Russia? After you have formatted the prompt, you get what is the largest city in Russia. The largest city in Russia is Moscow, right? Good. So this is where we left off from last time. So now we're going to move on and learn how we can use chains to do the same thing in LangChain. Okay. So to use a chain in LangChain, what you have to do is simply create a chain, and the simplest chain you can create is an LLM chain. Okay. So let's go ahead and import that in here. So I'm going to go ahead and say from LangChain dot you can say dot chains import LLM. You can just go ahead and import LLM. Sorry, it is going to be an LLM chain, just like that. We're going to import LLM chain and then run that cell. So down here, you're going to go ahead and create an LLM chain. So we're going to say LLM underscore chain is going to be equals to LLM chain, just like this. And we're going to go ahead and pass in our LLM, which is going to be equals to our language model, which we created up here, right? Go copy that and paste it in here. Also, we need to combine this with a prompt, and the prompt, you already have a prompt right here. So we're going to go ahead and simply pass in the prompt, and you just pass in the prompt and not the prompt formatted. So that's one of the best thing of using a prompt chain, that you don't have to pass in the prompt formatted. So you can just go ahead and get rid of this step right here and get rid of that step. So we don't need that anymore. So all you need to do is just have the prompt itself. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. So you can see it helps us to reduce a huge amount of our code. So all you have to do is now simply say prompt, and then we pass in the prompt is going to be equals to prompt right here. So paste that as well and then run the code. So that's all we need to create a simple LLM chain. So basically you're passing the LLM and you're passing the prompt. So how do we run the code? How do you call OpenAI to give us a prediction? So to get the prediction back, what you have to do is simply go ahead and simply say, you just go ahead and simply say LLM chain. So we're going to say LLM underscore chain dot run. And you're going to run now. Whenever we are running this, you have to pass in a couple of things. You have to pass in the values, the placeholders that you have used instead of the prompt. So you have used country right here. So instead of run here, we're going to say run. We're going to say country equals to, and we pass in Russia, right? Russia. And that's all we need to do. And if you have multiple placeholders in here, then you have to pass all of them in here at the point of calling run. So if I go ahead and run this now, this is going to make a call to the OpenAI ChatGPT models and then return to us the response. And you can see, say that Moscow is the largest city in Russia with a population of 12.5 million people. So you can see that uh, using a basically a chain, we're just combining an LLM chain, combining it, linking with the prompt, and then finally at the point of running it, we pass in all the variables that the prompt template needs, right? So combining linking an LLM in a prompt template, basically creating a chain, right? Which is called basically a base. Basically, the very this is actually a very beginner level of chains in LangChain. You can do more with chains in LangChain, but this is just like the basic chain you can have, which is just an LLM chain. So that's basically how you can create an LLM chain in here. Okay. So in the last video, we also looked at, let me just go back into this file. This is the file that we used in the last video right here, whereby we created basically this code right here. So I'm going to copy this source code, pass it in here. And then I also need to go ahead and grab all this. So this is all that we used in the last video where we talk about prompts, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and pass all this in here. So this is basically what we did in the last video. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that code and then use it, because there's no point of writing it again. I don't want to waste your time. Okay. So once we have that pasted right in there, so now we're going to go ahead and use a prompt template to do the same thing in here. Okay. So how do you go ahead and do that? So to do this, you have to create an LM chain. So make sure that you have this already imported, right? If from LangChain dot from LangChain dot chains, you're going to import LLM chain. So once we have the LLM chain imported, you're going to go ahead and create an LLM chain. So we leave the model, the chat model right here. We're going to use the chat model as our LLM. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and simply say, we're going to say LLM chain. Let me just say LLM chain underscore chain equals to LLM chain, and then simply we're going to go ahead and pass in our LLM, which is going to be equals to our chat model. So basically our LLM is going to be our chat model right there, and then finally our prompt is going to be equals to basically we can pass in chat prompt. Basically we have the chat prompt, that chat prompt that we created in the last video, right? So this is the chat prompt right here, which combines the student prompt and the system prompt, right, to create for us the chat prompt. So once we have the chat prompt created, now we can go ahead and simply call dot run on this one, and you can say lang lm chain dot run. And now we need to pass in a couple of things. We need to pass in now this placeholder that we have instead of our template. So now we have 1, 2, right? This is just a repetition of this, so that's still 2. And then let's see, okay, this is also a repetition of this one right there. So we have only two variables that we need to pass into our prompt template. So I'm going to simply go ahead and copy this right here. So copy it and paste it right here, and it's going to be equals to, let's say, I love pizza. All right. And then the desired language, you're going to go ahead and copy that as well, and then pass in the desired language as well. And let's say you want to translate this to German, right? I don't speak German, but if any German guy is watching, you can let me know if I'm correct, okay? So that's basically the translation of I love pizza to German, okay? And if you want to translate to, let me translate to Swahili. Swahili is actually a language that I'm familiar with. So let me see how it gets in Swahili. So napenda pizza. Yeah, that's actually correct in Swahili. So Swahili is a language spoken in East Africa, mainly Tanzania, Kenya. Yeah, so I think it's the second most wide spoken language in Africa, if I'm not wrong, after Arabic. So that's basically how you can get the translation now in Swahili, if you want to. So yeah, I speak Swahili, so I can tell you this is actually correct in Swahili. Okay, so napenda pizza, I love pizza in Swahili. So that's actually a correct prediction. That's how you can use chains in LangChain, right? You're just combining a couple of things. In this case, you're combining, we are linking up a chat model with a prompt, chat prompt, right? That's basically what the whole idea of chains is in LLM. So I hope you guys have a good understanding now of chains. Now this is just the fundamental stuff, right? We haven't gone depth into anything complicated. Okay, so this is just laying the foundation, right? Once you start building projects, I'll make other videos. So this is part one of the course of introduction to LangChain. So once maybe I'll create other parts of it whereby I do more complicated stuff with chains and other stuff like that. But for now, this is just laying the foundation for you on how introducing to the world of LangChain and how we can use chains in the LangChain. So the guys, that's all for this video. If you guys you enjoyed this video so far, make sure that you like the video, you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let me know in the comment section below if you like the video, you hate the video. They're all useful feedbacks that can help me make better videos for you guys. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Keep safe.